Today, the city of Raleigh settled a lawsuit with the family of a man who died after police shocked him with a taser. The family of Darrell Williams will receive nearly $1 million. As part of the deal, the city and the police department, they don't admit any wrongdoing. In body camera video, though, you can hear Williams telling officers he had a heart condition. They tried to revive him, but he did die. The Wake County District Attorney's Office did clear the officers of any wrongdoing, and the city does still need to give final approval for that settlement, but it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. 2 years ago, back when Williams died, when this all happened, we went in depth on tools that police can use, and we talked a lot about tasers and more importantly, about AEDs. That story is on WRAL's YouTube page right now. You can check it out. But I should say, since this Williams case has been settled, we thought we should talk a little bit about some of those updates to that in-depth story here tonight. First off, there have been more stories of people dying after being tased by police. Two recent examples include this one here in Georgia. A 47-year-old man there died back in October. Officers used a taser to stop him from walking into traffic. Back in February, a 25-year-old man in Florida died after police used a taser on him. Officers say he was behaving erratically and trespassing on private property. In both cases, the men were rushed to the hospital where they later died. Those are just two examples. There are others out there. But I should say, there is some disagreement over whether or not tasers can even cause cardiac arrest. A study published in 2005 found, quote, tasers don't cause heart rhythm disturbances. But that test, we should mention, only used pigs and one taser and one jolt from that one taser that lasted less than 5 seconds. In 2012, another study came out with a new conclusion. It found tasers pose risks to the heart, detailing 8 people who went into cardiac arrest after being hit with police tasers. The most recent theory was published in 2023, finding a taser can disrupt the heart, especially if you're shocked repeatedly or for long bursts. But again, that's just a theory because scientists can't ethically do a study on how many tasers it takes to kill someone. All that said, there is another tool out there that law enforcement can use to save someone who does go into cardiac arrest. I'm talking about defibrillators, or AEDs, which is much easier to say. Every year, more and more law enforcement departments in North Carolina put these AEDs in their vehicles. This past August, the Jones County Sheriff's Office put AEDs in 12 vehicles. Around this time last year, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office put AEDs in 20 vehicles. We found a great example out of northern Kentucky. A police department there gave AEDs to their officers this summer, and then 2 days after they were distributed, an officer used one to save a man's life. When we first did the story after Darrell Williams' death, the Raleigh Police Department did not have AEDs in their cars. We asked today, and they still do not have them. RPD sent us a statement that reads in part, "We do not require AEDs to be installed in our cruisers. However, our officers have received training on how to use them when necessary. Currently, there are no plans to install AEDs in the cruisers, but this may be considered in the future." We also asked the Wake County Sheriff's Office if they put AEDs in their cars, and we got a similar answer, saying our deputies do not currently have AEDs in their vehicles. However, we are always looking for new tools to improve our service. And it's true. Wake County did give deputies a new tool, gave them tasers. The Sheriff's Office hasn't used them since 2019, but now they have 200 of them. Now, you might hear that after all this and think, is that a good idea? Well, let's play a quick clip from our story on that topic last month.
The Sheriff's Office will get 200 of these Taser 10s. The manufacturer advertises them as less lethal.
We're trying to look at the best resource, again, to contain the situation and reduce the risk of injury.
The department phased out the technology in 2019 under previous Sheriff Gerald Baker. The decision came after a court ruling brought up liability concerns.
Is liability still a concern here?
Well, liability will always exist. The focus is to make sure that we have the proper training.
So what do you think? Lots to consider here. Here's what we know. For one, that word that they like to use, liability. That's just a sterile way of saying that, yeah, tasers may kill some people, better than a gun, but still less lethal. Tasers aren't non-lethal. Another fact is that the night Williams died, police, again, tried to save him. They tried to resuscitate him when his heart stopped. Officers kept doing CPR until the ambulance arrived. Same story in those recent examples we told you out of Georgia and Florida. They tried to save those people's lives. They did everything they could with the tools they had. And as we just heard, we want our officers to have all the tools they need, right? And something tells me if they would have had an AED, I'm betting they'd have tried to use it. After all, they are trained to use them. So why not? What's the liability? Send me your thoughts and emails to 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. What questions do you have about this story or anything else that you'd like to see us cover? You can see us use this email throughout the newscast now, this 7 p.m. email. It's because we want your input on everything we talk about. This is your newscast here at 7 o'clock. So tell me what's on your mind, and we will go in depth.